Hello, classmates. I've gathered you here today to talk about an incredibly important issue with our democracy. So important that it would actually require a constitutional amendment to change it. Suggesting a change to the document that has led to the rise of the greatest country on earth is quite the challenge. But new ideas are thrown around constantly. From ensuring the reproductive rights of women to forcing the president to have a balanced budget, the ideas are easy to come by, but hard to put into action. The last amendment to the Constitution was made in 1992, limiting congressional pay, and there are few and far in between, with only 27 total since 1789. I wouldn't say I'm highly qualified to deliver this opinion, but I am certainly more qualified than the average college student, having taken multiple political science classes, as well as being involved in politics since 2010. My idea for change in these United States would be the elimination of the Electoral College and a transition to a direct popular vote system. The Electoral College, although a guarantee of state rights, has long outlived its useful purpose. The way it works is quite confusing to the average political outsider or foreigner. The United States presidential election is one of the few remaining indirect elections in the world, as per fairvote.org. Instead of voting for the candidate one would like to elect to the highest office in the land, one is instead voting for the group of electors that their state would like to send to Washington, D.C. in December to actually elect the president. This archaic system requires, as described by the federal government website on the matter, that the winning candidate receives at least 270 of the 538 possible electoral votes in order to win the election. These electoral votes are assigned 3 to each state, no matter how small the population, and then the rest are assigned by population. This seemingly brilliant system has transformed our presidential elections into a large game of chess with which state to carry as the pieces. Presidential candidates spend a large majority of their time in these election-deciding states, such as Iowa, the first primary in the nation, Florida, the largest electoral college swing state, and Ohio, the second largest electoral college swing state. Additionally, consider a Republican in New York, a state that has not voted Republican since 1984. They could decide to not vote because in the end, their vote doesn't matter, because no matter the candidate, their state will always vote Democrat. A similar problem could be seen as a Democrat in Oklahoma, who has voted Republican in every presidential election since 1964. The last problem with the Electoral College is the inequality in the weight of each vote, and this is truly the largest problem. As mentioned earlier, each state starts out with 3 Electoral College votes, no matter how small the state is, which is a problem because there are states that should have 1 or 2 Electoral College votes that have 3 or 4. The main issue here is that smaller states have more voting power on a per-citizen basis than larger states. The unequal spread of Electoral College votes means 1 Wyomingite's vote is worth just as much as 4 Californians' vote directly as a result of the Electoral College, as shown in an article from U.S. News and World Report. To have this much disparity in an election is unbecoming of a first world country and must be addressed at once. If the Electoral College was eliminated, every single vote cast in the presidential election would be counted equally and be of equal importance to the candidates. This would make each election about everyone, not just the lucky few that live in swing states, specifically improving the result of elections by following the will of the people instead of the will of the few. I would urge you all to write to your local and national representatives to look into a constitutional amendment to abolish the Electoral College. This amendment to change the presidential election to a direct popular vote system would guarantee the security and fairness of our elections for generations to come. Thank you for your time.